quarter-life crisis. So in today's episode we're going to be opening the third doll that I have in the Barbie Looks range, and it is this one. So this is still wave 1 because I'm quite behind. I have had him for a little while, but I've not gotten around to open him yet, like so many other dolls that I have. But he's the first guy doll that I've got from the range, or the first Ken doll, I suppose. So it'll be interesting to see how he compares to the Barbie dolls of the range. I think all the guys are kind of on the same body at the moment, certainly in the Looks ones. So I think they've all got that kind of standard, kind of a bit muscly body, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. That's fine. So we are going to take a look at him. And I'll probably get the other dolls out. We can kind of give a quick compare as well. So here is our Ken Signature Looks guy doll. So he is number 5. Here we go. The box actually got a little bit bashed up, unfortunately, in transit. There's a bit of a nick there. So the back of the box is the same as the others. You've basically got a picture of all of the first wave there. So obviously I have a number 2, I have number 6, and he is, as I say, he is number 5. I don't have number 1, number 4, or number 3. I might be getting a few more from the first wave. So let's get him out of the box. I think I'm probably going to do that off camera because we've seen it before, and it's not hugely faffy, but it's just awkward, so I'm going to probably do that off camera, and then we'll have a closer look at the doll himself. Okay, so here he is out of the box. He was actually a lot easier to get out than the other dolls. He didn't have any tags in the back of his head. And basically I could cut the kind of elastic and stuff that was around his feet and his hands. And there was also one around his neck. And I didn't have to sort of try and feed anything through from the back of the box at all, so that was pretty good. So obviously he comes with a doll stand, which was also in the box. The base of the doll stand was actually in the same bag as the certificate of authenticity, which, as we know, is just a piece of kind of crappy paper, really. Because of that, unfortunately, it has got a bit creased, but I don't really know what you're meant to do with this anyway. It seems a bit odd that you even get them with it, and if you do get them, why is it just a piece of paper? It would be so nice if it was like a piece of cardboard, or, you know, something a bit fancier than this. But anyway, so that's that. Obviously the stand is pretty standard. Ha ha ha. So you've got the base bit, you've got the stick bit, and then you've got the bit that would go around the waist. And obviously this is a bit bigger because he's going to be a bit chunkier around the waist than the girls have been. So we're going to put that to one side as well, and then we're going to get to him. So his hair is very, very stiff. There's a lot of product in that hair. Not in the back of it, because there's kind of a little bit of a tufty bit that's kind of coming up, but I'm sure I can kind of fix that with something. There's flocking. So most of his hair is actually flocked. If you can see, kind of here, and then on the side and under this bit, that's all flocked. He literally just has hair on the top bit of his head, and they've obviously kind of tried to style it in this way, which I do actually really like. I do like the use of flocking. I kind of remember it from when I had Action Men. They always used to have sort of like flocked heads. He's wearing a very sort of simple outfit. So we've got this sort of black, oversized, I suppose, tank top. I'm never really sure. Oh, he's got tape on his back as well. I've just noticed that now. Yeah, so he's got this sort of black, oversized sort of tank top, which has no fastenings. So that will just sort of go over his head, I'm guessing. And then we've got trousers, which are kind of that fake sort of leather thing, which I always worry about because I kind of think in years to come that's going to be crumbling everywhere. That has Velcro on the back. And then he's got a pair of trainers or sneakers or whatever you call them, wherever you are. A pair of simple white trainers there. So, as I say, I think he's got some tape on his back to hold this in place. It all seems odd that they do that. I don't really know why they bother. We're going to take this off anyway, so I can take the tape off then. So, he's a little bit dusty with the kind of, I think there's probably sort of the fabric has got kind of bits in it, so he could do with a bit of a brush, I guess. And as I say, on the back, on his back, there's actually 2 pieces of tape to kind of secure the top in place, which seems a bit like overkill. I could kind of understand it when I had it on my first Barbie Looks doll, because she had a sort of a tie thing around her neck for her dress, and that was kind of taped in place, probably so it didn't sort of go everywhere. For him, it seems a bit pointless, because where is the top going to go? It's literally just going to, he's not going to be wearing it. It's not like it's going to get in the way or anything like that. But anyway, so that is very easily removed. Like I say, he's a little bit fuzzy because of probably the inside of the top that he's been wearing. So this is the first male made-to-move body that I've had. So he's got, obviously, articulation in the head. He's got this kind of torso articulation here, where you can kind of go, you can kind of go back and forth a bit, but it's more kind of forward and back. He's then got articulation in the shoulders. Again, the arms will come out, the arms will go in, and they will also go back and forth as well. He's then got a kind of, the biceps kind of move around like that. They don't really, they basically will just move around. You can't move those up or down because obviously they're attached to the shoulder, so that does the movement for them. There's obviously then a, I always hate doing this because I think I'm going to break them, but so basically he's got movement in his elbow. Okay, I'm not going to try and do it this time because it seems very stiff. But it's also a double jointed one, so you can move it on the bicep bit here, and you can also move it here where I've actually managed to move it. Let me see if I can do it with the other one. Okay, I can't seem to move that. I'm not going to try and do it at the moment. Let me know in the comments down below if you're able to double move this. I don't know if I'm just being a wuss or if it's just very stiff, because obviously he's been in the box. He's been in the box for a while. But yeah, I don't want to force it if it's not going to do it. So yeah, so he's got that movement there. I think he's got the double thing, but I'm not 100% sure, as that doesn't seem to want to move. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe it's kind of locked in place. He's then also got movement at the wrist. So obviously his hand will move around. And again, the hands are made of a softer plastic, so they seem a bit more real almost. And there's a lot of detail on the hand as well. There's kind of like veining, and you can see kind of the joints of the fingers and things like that. So then going down the body, we'll take off his, actually we'll take his shoes off first, that would be better. So the shoes come off quite easily, thankfully, because I always worry about them because they've got the ankle articulation. So the shoes are very simple. They do have the cut down the back, so they do come off, like I say, quite easily. We'll put those to one side. The top is hemmed all the way around, which is good. And then the bottom has got this sort of like clear plastic thing going on. I'm not really sure what that's for. It might be so it keeps its shape. You probably can't see this on the black background. Yeah, so it's got this kind of like shiny, kind of elasticy plastic at the bottom. As I say, I think might be so that it keeps its shape at the bottom and doesn't try and roll up or anything like that. Because this is based like a t-shirt material, maybe a bit thicker, so a thicker jersey material. Which, as I say, it's hemmed all the way around the neck, it's hemmed around the arms, and it's hemmed around the bottom. Very simple. It just goes, over his head. So there's no need for any sort of like fastenings on there. So the trousers are, as I mentioned, that kind of like leatherette material. And they've got Velcro on the back, so we can remove those. They're kind of not, they're not like badly loose, but they're not skin tight leather trousers, basically. Yeah, so he's got a poorly knee here by the looks of it. I'm not sure why that is. I think someone mentioned this before. It might have been Jay on her channel, that I think one of the guys that she opened also had this on. Is it just so they don't move in the box? I'm really not sure. Let me cut this off and then we'll carry on with this. Okay, so that was simple enough. Yeah, I'm not really sure what that would be. It was around the knee, so presumably they don't want the knee to bend, maybe. But he can't really move because he's still kind of stuck in the box anyway. Okay, so moving on with articulation. He's obviously got the whole hip. Is that hips? I can't remember. He's got that pose there, which is very flattering. He's also got, okay, so the upper thigh will also kind of move either way, which is similar to what the girls had as well. So obviously they both do that. The knees, okay, so the knees will actually double bend, which is again what the girls had also. And then he's got articulation at the ankle. I'm less worried about his kind of ankle articulation because he's a bit chunkier. So he doesn't have really kind of like thin ankles and then a thin bit onto the foot. It seems a lot sturdier than the ones on the Barbie dolls. So I'm kind of less worried about, you know, trying to take shoes off and stuff like that with him. So he can do the whole kind of kneeling thing, which is meant to be, you know, a sign of a good articulation. There we go. That hair's a bit like, I don't know, it's just not great, is it? I feel like licking my fingers and try and get it down. So he can do that. I am a bit concerned about not being able to do this elbow thing. But as I say, I don't really want to force it if it doesn't actually want to go. So yeah, I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to force it. He is a very beautiful looking doll, I have to admit. I'm not really into blondes, but he's very attractive. He's got really nice piercings, kind of blue eyes. Let's see if we can get a close up his face, because that might be good, mightn't it? I'm going to bring him up. He's going to be blurred for a second, and then I'm going to try and focus. There we go. So yeah, as I say, he's certainly a very handsome chap. He's got blue eyes. He's got kind of like brownish eyebrows, and he's got a really nice kind of like pouty lip, and he's got this kind of like painted on designer stubble. Do they even call it designer stubble anymore? Probably just stubble now. So yeah, he's very model-like, isn't he? He's got no nipples. Not that that should mean anything, but he doesn't have them. I suppose Barbie doesn't have them either, does she? But you kind of think on a boy doll, it's, I don't know. He-Man had nipples. I remember my He-Man figure had nipples. I think. Actually, maybe he didn't. Maybe I'm making that up. No, maybe he didn't have nipples. I don't know. Anyway, let's maybe not talk about nipples. I'm going to get him dressed, and then we'll get him with the girls, and we'll see how they compare. So here are my 3 Barbie Looks dolls together. So he is, I think, probably about, maybe he's a little bit shorter than the tall girl, but not by much. It's odd that they all kind of look very sort of similar in size. I mean, the curvy girl I think would probably be a little bit shorter, but because she's got the bigger hair, they're kind of, there's not really much in them. They do look really good. They've obviously done an amazing job on these dolls, and obviously they've been very popular. As I mentioned, they are, I think they're now talking about the 3rd wave already. We've had kind of wave 2.1 and 2.2. of which I've yet to get any, but hopefully that will change. But yeah, I'm really pleased with these. They pose really well. The thing I was trying to do with his elbows, I'm going to do on this girl and just show you. So it's meant to go like this, I believe. Now I don't know why I can't seem to do it with him, but as I say, I don't really want to break him. Here we go. Okay, he's probably just a bit stiff. I suppose better that than kind of being too loose-limbed. So yeah, he can touch his own face and things like that, because that's another great sign of you know, having a doll with good articulation. Okay, now it's doing it. Maybe I was being too kind of forceful and it didn't really like it. Sometimes if you're a bit gentler with it, it'll do it. So yeah, so I'm really happy. I'm very happy to have him as part of this group of dolls. In a lot of ways, these are kind of the perfect dolls in that they pose very well. They're very sort of simply dressed. You can basically style them yourself. I would definitely need to get some more clothes, particularly for the Kens, because I don't really have anything else apart from the clothes which my fashionista Kens are wearing. So I don't know if I can swap things over maybe, but I'd certainly like to get some nice clothes, you know, for the Kens to wear. I do have clothes for Barbies, but it tends to be kind of things which I've kind of bought off AliExpress and things like that. I do have some fashion packs which I should go through at some point and maybe do a video on. But yeah, as I say, I'm really happy with these three. I think I'm probably going to get one, maybe two more of the first wave. Because that would then mean that there's basically one doll I'm not getting. A part of me is like, oh, you should get that one as well and have the whole set. But I'm trying not to think like that, because I start thinking like that and then it's just dangerous, really, isn't it? So, what do you think of this guy? Oh, his name is Sean, by the way, or his face mould is Sean. I think it was Sean. Yes, I think it's Sean. So yeah, so he is Sean. Her face mould was Elle, and the tall girl's was Victoria. As I say, I'm not sure I'll be keeping those names. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below if you have these, if you have a Sean in your collection, what you think of him. Have you done anything with his hair? Because it's just, I don't really like it. It's so rigid. I remember during the 80s having lots of hair gel, and basically my hair would be like this sometimes, like so stiff, and I would end up playing with it, and you know, you end up fiddling with it a lot, I think, and just trying to sort of crack through the kind of gel. It's really annoying. I would like to maybe wash it, but I'd be worried about the flocking as well, because I think that can literally just wash away. So let me know in the comments down below if you've done anything with your hair, your Sean hair. Let me know what you think of him. And please like the video if you've enjoyed it. Please give me a subscription if you haven't already. And I will see you very soon in the next video. So until then, take care and look after yourselves. And I will see you very soon. Bye.